Good afternoon, maple lovers. So this afternoon, here we are doing another repot. This is a Acer palmatum. No, I correct myself. It's a Shirasawanum Moonrise. And yeah, that label needs redoing. Yeah, this one is seriously potbound. Even more so than the Ariadne one I did that's over there now. Yep, that is definitely in need of a larger pot. So here I'm gonna be making a start. I'm just gonna show you briefly. I won't do the whole thing because it will take too long, but I normally just start like this in a radial fashion with this little like pick. I found that's the best thing for me to start with personally, and that just opens up the top layer of roots like so. And so let's turn that around. And once you've got that top layer loosened off, I'll go for my other tool, which I'll show you in a minute, which rather than one hook, this one's got 5. Yeah, so it's like a claw, and you can just get through it more efficiently than just the one with the one on it. Yeah. So I'm going to pause the video here because it's going to take me quite some time. I'll carry on once I've made a bit of progress, and we'll go from there. So I'm halfway through. You can see, like, there's my hand. There's quite a lot of roots that I've taken off already, and I'm not even halfway. That's not even halfway. That's just like the top part of the tree. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here at the base of this trunk. Some potential Nabari here that's looking really good. So it's all about revealing the beauty of the tree. The roots, at least the surface roots, shouldn't be hidden. I think they're nice. So I can see 1 or 2 nice ones there, and that's the depth it was at before. So yeah, get a bit more trunk out of this tree now. So I'm going to pause there and continue further. Okay, getting a bit closer now to the end goal. It's a bit tough. It's like combing through matted hair. It's like, yeah, I'd say it's like combing through really thick matted hair. Now I don't want to remove every single bit of soil from the center of the tree, of the root system even, because that is a bit risky, because it's not frosty at the moment, but if we do get changes in our weather, then the root system could be vulnerable to a certain extent. if it's too exposed. So I'm going to leave some of the old soil that's a bit more central. I'm going to leave that there, not going to dig it all out. I'm just going to loosen everything up around the edges and prune the long ones back, and that will promote new growth anyway. So yeah, anything that's sticking up or growing up towards the tree, that gets pruned back. I might keep those there because they got nice potential for roots there at the top, and the soil could weigh them down. There's one down here, like that one. So alright, next part, I'm going to select a basket for this. Okay, here we are. So that is fully pruned all around the edges. Fresh new trim, and I've trimmed the bottom as well. That's about as far as you probably want to go. Right, gonna find a new basket for that. Now I have this one here, which I think could be, yeah, just about right. You don't really want to go with a new pot or pond basket, whatever you're using for repotting. You don't want to go too big. It's best to gradually go up in size. So the sooner the roots of your tree can grow out and reach the edge of the pot, the better, because it can what's the word I'm looking for? It can settle in quicker. I know there's better words out there, but that's all I've got right now. So the roots will start to develop quicker as well in that case. But if you have, say, a pot that's too big, the conditions of the soil around it can be more severe in the case of if it's say freezing cold, or more so in the case if the soil isn't that free draining and it's more waterlogged, or there's just holding too much water due to like poor soil, then that would be an issue for the roots as well. But if you are using a good free draining soil, I mean, it's not going to be that bad, because I know there is the argument that, well, what happens when you put the tree in the ground? I've had this debate in my own head. I get a lot of conflicting information about everything, to be honest, with propagation, potting up and things like that. And I guess you just gotta make your own experiments and see what works. Because other thing I used to ask myself is when it was said that if you use a pot that's too big for the size of the root system, I thought to myself, well, what's the difference of putting it in the ground? Because obviously you've got a lot more soil in the ground, and with no boundaries really for the roots to grow into. But yeah, I like to go up in pot sizes steadily. Yeah, that's my personal preference. Now I'm going to do my usual thing. I'm just going to put some pumice at the bottom. Now having that at the bottom will help water to drain out more freely, as opposed to having purely soil at the bottom. So that's why I'm doing that. So I'm just going to give it a little pause while I do. Actually, I can do this part. I'm back to holding the phone with my hand. Yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty good free draining soil here. I've got the pumice in there, composted pine bark, ericaceous, and a little bit of Irish peat moss to help, you know, you've got to get the balance of retaining water and free draining. So it's a bit of a tricky balance because they're a bit contradictory, but yeah, if you get the right mix, then you're spot on. You just got to experiment. Just gonna fill that up about a quarter of the way. Let's see. Yeah, that works. And next I'm going to get the mycorrhiza, this stuff. Right, sprinkle that evenly. Now this will really help. This introduces a secondary flush of roots, basically another root system that will assist this root system, and they work in symbiosis with each other, and that's going to really help speed along the recovery of the roots and help them grow. So I normally sprinkle them there, then I get the tree in, and then I just sprinkle it around the edges. But because this is quite a heavy tree, I'm going to have to use my other hand so I can get the rest of the granules in. So I'm going to pause it. So I put the rest of that mycorrhiza in, and now I've loosely filled in the soil, filling it up nearly to the top. Now this next part is crucial. I use a chopstick. Got the idea from Peter Chan at Heron's Bonsai, and in his shop he's actually given them away for free. So you want to poke all this soil into the roots. So you don't want there to be any air gaps, because if there's air gaps the roots will die off. So you need to push as much soil into the tree as you can. You want all the roots making contact with this soil so it can absorb all the nutrition that's running through it. And you can see as I'm doing this, more roots are coming to the surface, which is good, because that means I'm getting the soil in the gaps where we need it. So yeah, do that for a good couple of minutes. Oh, and I'm wearing gloves today because I noticed while I've been doing so much repotting the last few weeks, my hands are really starting to dry out and crack. So with this soil that I'm using, it's taking all the moisture out of my skin in my hands. So look after your hands as well. That's another thing. Moisturize and wear gloves when doing this, if you want to have smooth hands, or more if you don't want to have rough cracked hands. So yeah, I advise to wear gloves. So I'm going to put a bit more soil on the top now. Gently tap it down. Now what I normally do with any of the roots that are poking up, like airborne, like this one here, I trim them, but the ones that are going down and under, I'll leave them to grow. So let's just get these scissors out. Oh, there is one longer root there. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. Just put a little bit of soil on the top. Oh, there's one more here. No, there's the bigger one there. Right, there's one more one. There we go. Alright, next part. It's time to add a bit of mulch. I use pine chippings. So let's go and grab them. Put the lid on that. Okay. And the mulch serves a purpose as well. So in really hot conditions, you can actually retain moisture that's in the root ball beneath the surface, so it really helps for that. It also in time releases nutrition as it degrades and breaks down into the soil. So there's a couple of good benefits from using it, and I think it finishes it off nice as well. All right. So one more. Okay. Then all that's left to do for this is water it. So I'm just going to lift it off the tray. I don't want to fill the tray with water. Yeah, here we are. And you'll see how quickly the water seeps through there. It's pretty instant. It doesn't sit on the top, it just goes straight through. That's really crucial with maples. Probably want to do this for about a minute or two. And not 2 minutes, maybe just a minute. And there you go, that concludes that repotting. It won't be long until these buds will have those leaves. Spring is around the corner, so looking forward to a new season. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and catch you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day.